How are we all doing, guys? It's been a while. Been a long time, to be fair, since I've last done a 7 p.m. with AKM. I've got it one way around then. Obviously, I had a few things going on in personal life. Members are aware I did a video for them explaining everything. But I haven't really had time to sit down and talk to you guys about a few things that have been going on. So tonight, I do want to talk about obviously the ongoing situation surrounding the manager, the club. I want to talk about Jeremy Jackett. I don't know if you guys have seen what's happened to him as soon as Liverpool signed him, which is sod's law, and it's just us written all over, really, in all fairness, guys, with that lad. You know for a fact if he'd not signed for Liverpool, that would not have happened. And I will just text some of your questions as well, guys, like in the chat and stuff, pop them in. We'll see how everything goes and everything like that regarding everything. But before I do dive into all of this, I do want to remind you all to obviously like it, subscribe if you haven't done so already, hype the video if you can do. And also we are in partnership with Sean Leonard Art, who does the giveaways for our members, which you can join at $1.99 a month. We're in a chance of winning a piece of artwork from him, in all fairness. Sorry, I just read the message from Gareth. Got Gareth YNWA with us, and he says, "Even Adam, thank God I gave my ticket away for yesterday's game. I can't be arsed with it anymore. Slot just needs to go." Carl's here as well. Evening, mate. How are we? I'm all right, mate. I'm all right today. Things are still not sorted out, but I'm in a better state to be able to do this type of stuff. Sean might come on for a couple of minutes. Yep, that's fine by me, mate. So where I kind of stand right now. In fact, no, let's do the Jeremy Jackett thing first, because I think that's a little tiny piece of news that we could probably talk about. So if you've not seen it already, Jeremy Jackett has been sidelined. He has picked up a shoulder injury, and I'll go through his injury record as well while we're doing this. The BBC here reported that he just agreed a 60 million move to Liverpool. He fell awkwardly in the second half of the Rennes game on Saturday. I think it was Saturday, just gone. I think it was, and has suffered a muscular injury. The Rennes manager has said it's definitely quite serious for both of them, obviously, i.e. the player and Liverpool. Now, Chelsea was also interested in him as well, and Arne Slot has called him a very big talent. Now, if you have a look on an article over on L'Equipe, which obviously I know is not one of the best places to look for transfer stuff, but obviously they are in the know regarding French football, and they have said that he may require surgery, which would then compromise him for the rest of the season, and he may also miss a large chunk of pre-season with Liverpool, which do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, we've already got injured centre backs. We've got a centre back that wants out, basically, in Canate, and now we've signed a youngster, and he's already picked up a serious injury, and he's not even played a game for us yet. I have pulled up his injury history here. Now, bearing in mind he's only 20 years of age, he has had a fair few injuries in the past year and a half, I would say. He had a shoulder injury again back in 2024, which made him miss a month of football. He then picked up a knock. That's what it says here. And he missed one game. And then in May of last year, he missed a game again. So nothing major, but I just want to say, like, if that shoulder injury that he picked up back in 2024, if this is the same shoulder as then, that's probably why he needs the surgery, in all fairness. But it's sod's law, innit? You know, Liverpool go out there, sign a player. Next thing we know, bang, injured. Oh, God. I can't believe it, guys. Well, I can. It's Liverpool all over, innit? You know what I mean? But fingers crossed it's not. He's done. It's just, this is like a one-off, and it doesn't turn into like a bit of a Joe Gomez or anything like that, which, yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know what to do with that situation. A couple of articles as well to touch on regarding James Pearce here over on The Athletic. He's done a squad audit and he said what the transfer strategy and where must they strengthen. He says here that Arne Slot was keen to make a point about how Liverpool do business. This came out 3 days ago. He said it's a model of sustainability. Everyone talks about spending 450 million, but that's why we had to recoup nearly 300 million in sales. That's our model. I'm not frustrated about it, but I may be a little bit frustrated that too many people don't notice what our model is. Talks about breaking the transfer record twice with Wirtz and Isak. The reality was that the decision to keep their powder dry in the market over the previous year, combined with record revenues from winning the Premier League, allowed them to be able to spend the money. They also raised 224 million in funds from players being sold. And if you include the 62 million of outgoings from the previous 12 months, you could Slot basically got his 300 million from there. So basically they spent about 150 million, didn't they? You know, talks about players that have left the squad since 2015 to 2022. Firmino, Mane, Matic, Wijnaldum, Salah, stuff like that. They were all signed. And then let's have a look what he says a bit further down. He looks at the squad here regarding Liverpool and all the positions that they've got. So then he talks about goalkeepers here. He says that Alisson is in his eighth season at Liverpool as the undisputed number one. He's already achieved legendary status at Anfield, and at 33, he clearly still has much more to offer them at the highest level. With Liverpool certain to exercise their one-year option, his current contract effectively runs until 2027. He had previously turned down offers from the Saudi Pro League. The only concern regarding Alisson has been his hamstring injuries. He has missed 10 Premier League seasons, 10 Premier League matches in each of the past 2 seasons, and has sat out 5 already this season. Liverpool were succession planning when they agreed a 29 million deal for Mamadashvili, and he has played 11 times for Slot side in all competitions so far this season. Freddie Woodman arrived on a free transfer, and Liverpool are also well stocked with Jaros on loan at Ajax, while they have high ups for 20-year-old Hungarian Pesek, who cost 1.5 million. Let's have a quick look at this now. I've obviously talk about the defense and everything now. Defense with injuries to Leone, Bradley, Frimpong, Gomez. This is the area of the squad where Liverpool have been really stretched. You don't say. Slot's backline has been evolving with Frimpong, Leone, and Kirkes all arriving last summer. Trent and Kwanzaa departing and Shimikas going out on loan. Further changes will follow this summer with Jacket joining. Kanate could be replaced, obviously, with his contract expiring. And with Van Dijk turning 35 in July, he will remain integral. However, they do need to start looking at resting him over games. And with Leone expected to be fit for pre-season as he continues to recover from his torn ACL in his knee, Liverpool believe he and Jacket are 2 of the best young centre-backs in Europe. And the plan is for them to learn from Van Dijk, but ultimately take over his position. Whether Liverpool need to buy another senior centre-back this summer will be influenced by what happens with Gomez. I'm just going to stop right there. Liverpool 100% need to sign another experienced centre-back. If we're losing Kanate, as we kind of fully expect right now, are you telling me that Liverpool are going to go into next season with Van Dijk, who's in the last year of his contract, Gomez, who can't stay fit, also in the last year of his contract, and then 2 youngsters, one that's coming off an ACL and one that's having a shoulder surgery potentially? Fuck me. We don't learn, do we? We just don't learn. Robertson is guaranteed the warmest of Anfield send-off if, as expected, he leaves at the end of his contract at the end of the season. Kirkes has already established himself as the number 1 left back. And then obviously Robertson wants to play more football. There is a dilemma, though, on the right side of the back line where Liverpool appear to be well stocked with Bradley and Frimpong, but both have been plagued by misfortune of injuries. Bradley underwent knee surgery last month, and he should be back for the start of next season. And durability, which was one of Frimpong's greatest strengths at Leverkusen, but he's currently sidelined by his third muscular injury of the campaign. Well, doesn't that speak volumes right there? What are we doing that's so wrong? If Frimpong was known for his durability over at Leverkusen, why has he picked up 3 muscular injuries at Liverpool? There's obviously some. For me, if I was like Michael Edwards or Richard Hughes, I would be looking at like the medical staff and be like, why did he play over there? Didn't pick up a single injury. Soon as he comes to us, he's had 3 in a season. You need to tell me now what's going on. What are you not doing right? I tell you, it's absolutely bonkers. Is this some of the shit that they come out with? There's obviously Calvin Ramsey, but Slotter's only played him once. In the midfield, this is the most settled area of the squad. I think we could potentially see 3 players leave from that midfield in the summer. McAllister, if the Curtis Jones rumours are real, he could be on his way. And obviously Endo, it doesn't get any game time, so that's 3 there. This is the most settled area of the squad. Klopp rebuilt the midfield in the final summer of his Anfield reign, when Hendo, Milner, Fabinho, and Ox all moved on. He brought in Szoboszlai, Grav, and McAllister, and have proved shrewd signings from that same window. Liverpool are trying to tie down that trio to new contracts. Their deals run until 2028. Endo, the other midfielder who was recruited that summer, is at a different stage of his career. He turns 33 today and is viewed as a useful squad player as he covers several positions. He'll be gone in the summer. Slot effectively has 5 potential starters in Szoboszlai, Grav, Mac, Jones, and Wirtz competing for 3 places in the team. However, fitness and form of other players has led to Szoboszlai needing to fill in at right back, which obviously now he's suspended, so he won't be playing there, and Wirtz operating at times in the wide forward line. After a slow start to life in England, Wirtz has blossomed with 6 goals and 3 assists in his last 11 appearances. He shone playing centrally ahead of Grav and McAllister in the 4-1 defeat of Newcastle. Liverpool dismissed interest in Jones from Inter before Monday's transfer deadline. Weakening an already depleted squad was unthinkable. I actually think that Jones is going to be playing at right back for however long it takes now. But he only has 18 months left on his contract. Jones is desperate to be a regular starter, but 11 of his 21 Premier League appearances this season have been from the bench. And if he doesn't sign an extension before the summer, all parties will need to consider their options. Liverpool won't want to take the risk of losing him for nothing at the end of next season. They have high hopes for Nione, who has established himself as part of Slot's squad. Bajcetic had been expected to force his way into contention, but injuries have wrecked his development. The Spaniard has played for Liverpool just twice since March of 2023. James McConnell is also on the fringes after what was meant to be a season on loan at Ajax was cut short this week, and Elliott will return to the club in the summer unless Villa perform a U-turn and decide to buy him, but he will face an uphill struggle to force his way into Slot's plans. That's if Slot's still here. And then lastly, the last bit here is about the attack. When Slot talks about ideally having 2 players for every position, the plan up front in terms of depth was clear. Isak and Ekitike through the middle, Salah and Chiesa on the right, and Gakpo and Rio down the left. It hasn't worked out that way for a variety of reasons. For a start, Liverpool have had little return to date from Isak. The Swede wasn't ready to deliver initially, having gone on strike to force through the move, so was not match fit. A growing problem hampered his attempts to get up to speed, and then in December, just as he was showing signs of his ability, he suffered a broken leg. In his absence, Ekitike has embraced the responsibility and firmly established himself as Liverpool's new focal point. However, given the lack of alternatives, Slot has been carefully managing the workload of his 15-goal scoring striker. Salah's output has dwindled. This time a year ago, he had 26 goals in all competitions, and he has just 6 this season. Relations were repaired after his outburst against Leeds. No, they weren't. When he claimed he'd been thrown under the bus, they're not fixed at all. And made a scapegoat of Liverpool's poor form. But doubts over his record-breaking Anfield career extending beyond this season remain. And with Chiesa largely only trusted with brief cameos, there's an issue on the right. Similarly, on the left, the decision not to directly replace Diaz after his summer move to Munich has been brought into sharp focus by Gakpo's form. The Dutchman had 16 goals at this stage last season compared to just 7 this year. Rio has huge potential, but at 17, he is still raw. Given the need for more pace to help break down low blocks, fuck me, I hate that word, at least one wide attacker appears to be destined to be on Liverpool's summer shopping list. Now, that is the article written right there. Let's have a look at some of these comments that have popped up in here. Sean says, smash the like button. Pierce would Pierce make his mind up? He's up and down like a horse knickers. Young Grog, if Liverpool lose to Sunderland, they should sack Slot, period. I'm actually going to get Sean on and we'll talk about that, to be fair. In fact, I'll just finish off this. Guy Richards, tell you, Adam dear boy, one has had enough with his anti-football. Sloot out now. Where do I do this now? It's on here, isn't it? There we go. All right, I'm sending you this now, Sean. Just got to find you to send you. There you go. While Sean's coming in, guys, I have got another YouTube channel actually, which I've just started getting some stuff put onto. It's called Play Pause Talk. There should be a video up on there right now if anyone wants to go give it a look. The gaming channel. So yeah, just give it a look. So yeah, I don't know, guys. Regarding all of this, it just seems a little bit mental in all fairness. Cranky JD says, evening guys, late to the party. I have avoided all media until now. So frustrated with Sunday. I don't even know, guys. Like the whole Sunday thing was just bonkers. Right, I can see Sean here now. So if anyone would like to hit the like button, please do while I bring Sean in. Hi, mate.
How are you, man?
I'm not bad. Not bad. I'm getting there. Still not 100%, but you know.
Yeah. No,
Can't put your life on hold. How about you?
The last 2 days been difficult. I won't lie. Yeah, not doing too well backwise and stuff like that. So a little frustrated, and it's kind of the reason why I didn't come on here was I wasn't in great form, and it's actually my dad's birthday today, and I was just having one of these days where I just didn't want to fucking do anything, didn't want to be around people. So that's basically how it has been today, and the last number of days. But there you go. That's we all go through our shit and whatever. But Liverpool ain't fucking helping me.
Not helping anybody, mate.
Liverpool not helping.
I know you only on for a little bit, so what do you think? Give everyone your thoughts then on Slot right now and the articles and the stuff I've just read out, like Jeremy Jackett, his injury and stuff like that. Like, let me know.
Well, the whole thing with the whole thing with Jeremy Jackett is the issues that I've been having all this time with the transfer policies at Liverpool is Moneyball. And if you look at the definition of Moneyball, it's looking for a cheaper option. Now, I know that we can't say that about last summer, and that's why we're all surprised and we're all delighted. But the issue with Moneyball is that we go for players that fly under the radar of other clubs, and we don't go in for kind of a bidding war because we don't want to spend a ludicrous amount of money, which is grand. Fine. This is where you'll hear the sustainability rubbish that you'll hear nonstop. But you'll have players that will fly under the radar due to little nicks that they've had in the past. You know, they're injury prone, this kind of thing. And that's why we've had so many issues with injuries over the last number of years, last number of seasons. I worry about this Jeremy Jacquet fella, Jacket fella, whatever you call him. Um, I don't see why we didn't go for him in January. I don't see how, and you may be able to correct me if I'm wrong here, but Mark Gahey went to Man City for what, 20, 30 million?
Hmm.
And we fucking paid 60 or 55 million plus add-ons. So it'd end up about 60 million for this fella. I
Yeah, but
don't fucking understand that.
I think the gay though, if you take his wages into it and his signing on fee, it probably works out more than Jeremy Jacquet. But
Maybe, but wouldn't it have been well worth it knowing that he's been in the Premier League? Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
man,
And
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm pissed that we didn't sign Gay. Like, I, I kind of agree with your video yesterday where you were saying about why are the Liverpool fans booing him when he didn't do nothing wrong. He did do nothing wrong. Like, he, if I were to believe everything that's been said, he wanted to come to Liverpool. He was waiting for Liverpool. Liverpool were told that City had done X, Y, Z. He would take less money to come to Liverpool, and Liverpool were like, "Nah."
it's just a touch of arrogance on our part to think that we thought that Semyon. I don't know whether that was
I don't believe that was ever
genuine
a thing.
interest or not.
Nah, I
But
don't believe that
even
was ever a thing.
well, let's just say for Pig Iron it was right. It's a touch of arrogance on our part to think that Semyon, or let's say Mark Gahey, was going to wait until the end of the season before before signing with Liverpool. Um, Man City had issues in terms of defense, injuries, and whatnot. And rather than going on about this sustainability, although, like, I mean, these guys are 115 breaches of financial fair play, and will get away with it, no doubt about it. They'll get away with it.
100%.
While Leicester and other clubs are docked points and whatever.
Have you seen the conspiracy theory behind why they're going to get away with it though?
No,
Have you not?
no.
Right. I sorry to this, but you brought it up, so I just want to. I've seen the conspiracy theory about why they're going to get away with it. So apparently, if City were to get charged with these 115 things and the point deduction that would come with it, it would cost the Premier League in revenue, like for the seasons afterwards, up to £3 billion, because City would be kicked out of the Premier League, Pep Guardiola would leave, Haaland would leave, all the players, all the players that bring people to watch the Premier League would be gone. All the sponsorship deals, everything like that would be gone. So apparently that's the reason why they're not going to do anything, because it'd
Well,
cost them
then
more
just
money.
then what I would just say is just end the fucking facade of this court case. Because
Mm-hmm.
no matter what way you fucking look at it, if that is true, no matter what way you look at it, it's as simple and straightforward as this. If it's a facade, if they can't do that, and if that conspiracy theory is actually true, then fucking end it. Then don't bring them to court. Don't bring them to court.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Because it like you, okay, they may be losing whatever amount of billion, whatever the fuck, but what's really at stake is the integrity of the sport. And it gets on my fucking goat when you see clubs like Leicester City, like Nottingham Forest, like Everton, and other clubs getting wrapped in the fucking knuckles, including ourselves with and Goma, wrapped in the
No,
knuckles.
that was always going to happen. Was that, like, we were
Yeah,
always having to
even
pay some money for that?
well, okay, so even so, because I've been kind of so out of tune over the last month, but even so, we would get wrapped in the knuckles if we did something wrong, and rightly so. There are rules and regulations for everyone. As far as I'm concerned, the Premier League are changing the rules to suit fucking City. So I have a pain in me bollocks with it. And if you're just going back to the whole booing thing, and hello everyone that's saying hello there, I'm not ignoring you. Um, with regards to booing Man City players, I'd be booing every single one of them. I don't like them. Some people say it's wrong to boo. That's grand, fair enough. Each to their own. But booing Mark Gahey is ridiculous. What was he to fucking do? What was he to do? Wait around for us?
Mm.
We're in a situation. We're in a situation where he's interested. We nearly got him in the summer. Why not fucking get him in January? It's not like as if we didn't fucking need him. We did, but Man City needed him too. Man City had injuries and had a defensive issue. A defensive issue, and they got him.
Yeah.
No bullshit, no messing about. And what I'm saying with regards to Moneyball is that you go for players under the radar. You go watch the film. Go watch. I think your man's name is Billy Bean, who was the founder of Moneyball, or he put it into place in at his baseball team, and then John W. Henry tried to hire him for the Red Sox. So this has been, it's well documented what they do, but this sustainability bollocks, I'm so fucking fed up with listening to it. And you'll get the same tulips going on about, oh, well, what do you want us to be back like with Gillette and Hicks? We're a £4 billion club. Stop your nonsense and your scaremongering. No one is asking for anyone to spunk money up against the wall and be in breach of financial fair play. No one is asking for that. What we're asking for is to see the opportunity where we need to strengthen the squad and not ignore January and just say, well, January is a difficult month. Can you imagine how difficult it is going to be to to sign players during a World Cup? Let
This is
alone look
why
for the
that
fucking
was
new
my argument
coach.
about that was my all argument about getting someone in now, like Alonso or whatever, because the World Cup's on, so you're going to be losing half your squad for pre-season anyway.
Yeah, but
So
does it make fucking sense to, for the likes of for the fact that we may lose Canate, and I think that's going to happen. We lose Canate. Virgil is at the end of his contract in 12 months' time. Would it not be great? Would it not be a good idea to have an understudy, to bring in a player and have them as an understudy to Canate, to Virgil, to Gomez, whatever, and let them learn the ropes. Let them, get an idea of what it is to put on the Liverpool jersey, what it is to play at Anfield, what it is to have the responsibility of playing for a great team, rather than just right there you go. We'll throw you in the deep end. You with the dodgy shoulder, will put you where Kanata used to be. You with the dodgy ACL will put you where Virgil used to be. These are young players. They're not going to hit the ground running. And plus, they're just coming off the back of an injury. They're not going to have a fucking preseason. Leone might do. This Jeremy jacket, he would want to get his fucking jacket, and he should have got his fucking jacket and joined January. Joined in January.
I don't think that was ever on the cards.
Well, then we need to be more sensible. It's all right, this sustainability rubbish, but we need to be wise, because as far as I'm concerned, what how it's turned out is or what it's looking like to me is they've downed their tools. They've written this season off already, and they probably don't have faith in Slot, that they don't want to give him the money, or they don't want to bring in more players for him. And we've got major issues in terms of our contracts. Like I had a fucking sheet here in terms of our contracts. So as is, or at the end of this season, we've got Andy Robertson and we've got Canate. Canate probably leave. Expires in 2027. We've got Virgil, Mohamed Salah, Curtis Jones, Joe Gomez, Simicas, Endo, and Padajic. And then we've got Allison, who's got a 1 year extension option. Then we have in 2028, we have Slabosly, McAllister, Gravenberch, Chiesa, and Rio. So on top of doing something with our defensive issues, we've also got contract issues. And if Slobosly is looking for 30,000, or sorry,
No.
300,000.
Yeah.
I wish he was looking for 30,000. Sorry, I'm just looking at Sky Sports News. Who's that Chelsea manager, by the way?
Liam Rosner, is that his name? I
He
think
is the
so.
biggest fucking spoofer I've ever come across. Like, what? Sorry,
He's doing a
he
good job.
annoys. No, he annoys the tits out of me. He's a spoofer.
Hey, I don't,
Anyway,
if we got someone who annoyed me, but we were winning games, I won't give a fuck.
maybe, but well, yeah, okay, touche. But we've got major issues, and we can't keep going on about sustainability, rebuild, and do it in yearly.
Oop, I think he's gone. He's back again.
I'm back again. The transfer window is there for an opportunity for you to get the work done, get what you need, and then leave it. Don't leave it in yearly installments. We did that before, and it took us how many years under Klopp to actually win our first Premier League. You know, and if you look at our last title defense, we had the same fucking issues. We had feckin' midfielders in the back four, and we've the same issues now. Bear in mind, obviously, it's a lot down to injuries. But then we need to look at like what's happening that has all these players injured, as you said.
Yeah.
It's fucking soul destroying. I hate seeing Liverpool in this state. I really, really do. And there's a lot of gaslighting by certain people, including Jamie Carragher,
Do
as
you not think
to
it's
how.
interesting? Sorry, Sean. I'm sorry. Do
Yeah, go on, go on.
you not think it's interesting though that both times we've won the league, the season after has been disastrous?
Yeah, yeah.
Both
The
times
first
we've won the league.
the first time that we won the league under Tom Watson, we got relegated.
Well, I was just talking about Premier League, but yeah.
No, I know. I'm just showing you that I actually read the book, Jeff Golden, and I can't think of the other guy's name. I'm sorry. Great book, but I do feel that it's some sort of curse. But I also feel that we've got to be. It's all right, kind of buying these players and breaking transfer records and what have you.
I wish we'd
But
not signed Isaac. Me,
I don't think we need to sign Isaac.
we
I
could have
would be
spent that.
much.
We could have spent that money, got Gay, and got like a player to play with Ekitike, with Ekitike being number one. But obviously that's just in hindsight. Like obviously at the time, no one expected Ekitike to be as good as he was, and for Isaac to be as bad as he was, and pick up injuries and yada yada. To be fair, no one fucking expected this season. Like, let's be fucking real, guys. I mean, we won the league at a canter last year. Yes, towards the back end of last season, we started playing absolute garbage after they'd all
Hmm.
fucked off to celebrate. But I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. It's like we can't have nice things like the whole Jeremy, the whole Jeremy injury. Like, of course he got a serious injury after he signed for Liverpool. Like I said earlier on before you jumped on, Sean, I was like, if he'd signed for Chelsea, he wouldn't have got an injury. He got injured because he signed for Liverpool. Like, simple as. Of course it happened. But I'm just going to catch up on some comments, mate, before you jump
Yeah.
off. Gary Richards says, Adam, did you watch the NFL final, like the Super Bowl? No, I didn't, mate. No, I couldn't be asked. It sounds like it went the way I thought it was going to go anyway. So, no, I didn't watch that. Sean, it's not just about sacking Slot. We need to look at what has gone drastically wrong with the team. We need to know why he doesn't trust the players on the bench and why he thinks this style is good. I feel I've got nothing to back this up. Nothing to back this up whatsoever. But I think him winning the league last year was the worst thing that could have happened to Slot. I think he came into it last year thinking, right, yeah, I've got everyone's thing here. Jurgen's got a good thing going. I'll tweak a few things here and there just to put my little bit of a stamp on it, but we'll pretty much do the same thing that we did under Klopp, sorry. And then I think he's won the league, and it's like, right, well, we are going full slot ball now, and it's just not worked because he doesn't. I don't think he's got the correct players to do it. I don't think he's got the correct, like, well, maybe that's just it, the correct players to do it, to be fair. And I don't think he's playing the correct formation. And as well, just to throw another thing in there as well, I think the Premier League changed like that this year with how much more physical it became. So he went and signed like Verts and stuff like that, small technical players. And then the Premier League's just completely changed. It's all about set pieces now. And
the minute they signed Verts, I was like, okay, so where is he playing? Where are we going to put him? You know, that's and that's like, again, you get lost in the hype of the fact that we were signing players like there's no tomorrow and we're breaking records and what have you. And again, you'll get the opposite. You'll get, people saying, well, look, Sean, you were looking for us to spend big and we did, and look what happened. And I get that, but they're spending big and then they're spending wise. And I think, with Isak, yeah, we needed another striker, but we needed centre backs. And I think that's been proven. And I think, I did say it was as important. I think it was more important now because of the situation that we're at. I think Virgil has had the worst season that he's had. Like, the worst season. Canate, God bless him. I understand that it's difficult, whatever, the losing a father and what have you, and he's come back and he's done all right. But
I feel like the Van Dijk comment, if you like, when I don't know if you've seen the Gary Neville interview that he did, he's actually like number one as a defender in a lot more things than he usually is, like heading, tackling, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that I think it was Danny Sturridge yesterday we're talking about. I think it's down to the formation and the personnel in the team. We don't have a defensive midfielder anymore. Like,
no,
Virgil and Canate are being asked to do more defensively with less cover because Kirkes and Frimpong, whoever, bomb down the wings. You have, like last year, we had Gravenberch that was like, kind of playing as a six, but now he's even further forward. Like, I think I said that first part of the season, I was like, why is Grav so far forward?
But this is the style of football that Slot has decided to go for, in which Jamie Carragher, pointed out to him at the start of the season. We're committing too many people forward, which then shows the defensive frailties that we have. And then we're asking them to play a completely different game as to what they were playing. Then we talk about this fucking low block thing. Well, what else can a team do when we're passing the way we're passing and while our build up is slow? Only park the fucking bus. If your job as a head coach is to recognize when something is not working and to go back to the drawing board. And I understand there's a bit of stubbornness and there's a bit of pride involved, but we've seen certainly in 20 minutes of the game against Man City, where direct play and urgent and playing with urgency, where it can get us.
It suits the players.
It suits the players. And that was the old way that Liverpool played, the, kind of quick passing, having the opposition land on their fucking arse. Now we're doing this backward fucking passing in really crucial parts of the game. In real crucial parts of the game. And some of the decisions that we made yesterday and that we've been making throughout the season is all over the shop. All over the shop. Like that pass that Ekatike did to Salah when Wirtz was on the other side. Mind you, Salah's pass to Ekatike was unbelievable, or as Frank Carlisle will say, sublime, and it was. And he should have put that in the net. But
Mm.
we're not clinical enough. We're too slow on our build up. We can't hold possession, and if we are keeping Arne Slot on the basis of him winning the league last season, well, then why didn't the set piece coach get the same luxury?
Mm.
Why didn't he get the same luxury? So there's a lot of hypocrisy for those who report or talk about Liverpool and about the respect that we should be giving Arne Slot. Absolutely, respect where respect is due. 110%. I'll always thank him for last season, but it's not the first time that Premier League winning managers have lost their job. And that does not mean that once they win it, they're immune from criticism, which means that like they can do fucking shite for the rest of their career as a head coach or manager, but we'll always say, ah, yeah, but you can't sack him because he won the league. It makes no sense, and that's the gaslighting that you get. And in some cases with these pundits, whether it's Jamie Carragher or Gary Neville, I'd sooner have that any Lumu who's complaining that about men commentating and pundits and whatever. I'd sooner have her on. I really would. But it's people need to wise up, and people need to stop being bullshitted and gaslighted by certain individuals in the Liverpool media, and them thinking that they can dictate to how you should feel, how you should think, what you should say. It's all bullshit. Football without fans is nothing. Fans without opinions is just pointless. It's pointless. You know.
Yeah, man. Let's just get through some of these comments as well, mate. Like, good, you made some good points there. I mean, I don't know, mate. I feel like sometimes
Oh, pardon
as
me.
fans, we're just not listened to, like, and we're not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it because that's not the exact way I wanted to word it. But if us as fans can see that something is wrong, surely the people that are running the club can see it as well. So
But you
I
see,
don't.
here's the thing. Like, be under no illusion, ladies and gents. Be under no illusion. There would not be a Reds round table if things were going great. There would not be. Well, let's have a little sit down with Richard Hughes and Arne Slot, and
I
you're
want.
one
I
saying, "I
wanted to
think."
say one thing actually on that.
Go on.
I think if we actually think that that was filmed weeks, that week it came out, a couple of days. That's probably been in the can for about 3 or 4 months.
Well, it was the timing of that was immaculate because we were while we were questioning Arne Slot, we were also questioning Richard Hughes as to why we didn't do our business there in January when
Mm.
when a lot of people felt that we needed. Um, but I'm a little, someone that said to me in the comments there, you want them to talk, you want them to speak out, and when they do, then you're not happy either. I'm perfectly happy with them speaking out, but actions speak louder than words. And at the end of the day, I see you liking me retro
Yeah, just
X10
seen it.
Pro. Oh man, I can't fucking wait. Can't. Anfield 90, fair play to him. He hooked me up. We were talking about Sensi soccer. I need to probably come on to that gaming channel that you have because I have a lot to talk about there. Anyway, I'm not going to dictate to that. But there wouldn't be a Reds round table if things were going grand. If we were in the position that Arsenal are in, there would not be a Reds round table. There wouldn't. The only time when you have to answer to the critics is when there's criticism and when it's due. And to me, it looked like Billy Hogan bringing his two kids in to see the headmaster because they got in trouble. because he was looking at the two of them and being rather cautious in the way he was looking at them. He had very little to say himself. And again, it's like, oh, FSG saved us, and and they won, yeah, and their actions did speak louder than words. And then Richard Hughes talking about his experience and how he gets on with Arne Slot. I couldn't care less if they have sleepovers in each other's gaff and they do Netflix and chill. I couldn't give a shit. I couldn't give a shit. Just do the fucking job. Do the fucking job. See where there's need to bring in someone and stop this bullshit again. Gaslighting at its finest. Oh, we're not in for small fixes or quick fixes. There's no such
But
thing
then,
as a quick fix unless you bring Arthur Mello in.
tried signing Jeremy Jacka. I mean, not
Yeah,
Jeremy. Get a Tudor.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right, mate, I'm cautious about these comments building up,
yeah.
and some of them are for you, mate. So Carl asked, "How you doing?" You've already covered that one. Shauno asked, "Did you get the magic?" Gary asked, "Did you get the magic sponge, Shauno?"
I did when I was getting the ultrasound on both my legs, and I was like, "That's far too. You're going far too up for that. Like it's me legs, not me fucking thigh." I didn't even get her number.
Cranky JD said it's all about resale value. If they can't get money back, they're not interested.
Exactly.
Paddington says, "Hi, Adam and Sean. Depressing about the crap from the journos and podcasters who continuously back Slot, Hughes, and Co. No accountability, no hard questions, just acceptance of mediocrity and the process." To be fair, I will just say there's one journalist in particular that I've kind of started liking a lot, and that's the Andy
Yeah,
Jones over on
I
the
like him
Athletic.
too.
Some of his articles are quite not I won't say the word damning, but he's actually asking questions and actually putting shit out there that you wouldn't see James Pearce do. Or you do see James Pearce do, and then the next time he's sat in a podcast with David Ornstein, he just kind of rails it all back in.
Yeah,
Paddington. Also, I'm sick of this nonsense about the squad size, the quality of the bench, who picks them, Slot. No more excuses. No other business allows this to continue. And this crap about disrespect of Slot. It's a business. We needed Semenion and Gahey. Simple as that. We do a round table talking about shit, patting each other on the back. Slot gets away moaning about the win to potholes, to squad sizes. Oh, yes. And now the refs. What a joke.
I like Paddington. Is he new?
I think so. Jay
Stick
Garrett says,
around,
"Evening,
Paddington.
lad. It's costing the clubs money to take City to court." Russell's with us saying, "Big up, everyone. Big up, Russell. Hope you're
All right,
doing well,
Russell.
mate." Paddington again, guys. City know how to play the game. Money talks, and the EPL got no balls. Football today, from FIFA to UEFA to the EPL to the Referee Association under Howard Webb, are not accountable and stinks a bad smell. Every one of your comments so far, mate, I've absolutely agreed with.
He's fucking dead on the money. Fair play, Paddington.
John Henry might have gone missing because he's in the Epstein files. Is he actually? Is he actually?
Oh shit, me back. Oh fuck, that's funny.
Frankie says no Champions League would be painful. Shauna, the club is being treated like an amateurist outfit. All of these wishy-washy words to deflect the facts we have lost so many players on freeze, all the money lost due to incompetence. Also, I didn't even know it was this bad, but did you see the thing that we've only won 6 Premier League games since September?
Yeah, I think it's 7.
7, sorry.
7, yeah, yeah. And I mean, how no other fucking club would turn a blind eye to that, and we have. We were going on about a fucking winning streak when we drew most of them, or an unbeaten streak, should I say?
We've
When we
only
drew
won
most of
11.
them,
We've won 11 games all season in the Prem.
yeah,
6 draws, 8 defeats.
it's fucking shocking.
Fuck, I didn't really. Honestly, I had no idea. Jay says, under Slot, I wouldn't sign any new player, to be fair. Paddington, I'm concerned news coming out of Germany that Bayern are pushing for Alonso. We can't afford to lose that again. We need a club to wake up, have a strategy, stop pissing around season after season. I think the only way Alonso goes there is obviously if Company takes the City job. But I would not be surprised if Alonso takes the City job.
I don't think he will.
I can see it. I can
No,
see
if he
it.
knows what's good for him, he won't take it.
Gary says it's all bad preparation. Jay's back again. Mad question, but is there a chance that FSG might sell?
I think we've
Yeah.
been myself and Dunk have been kind of John Henry, especially if the
Not well,
Epstein
is he?
fight. Is he not?
Have you seen him lately?
Well, he
Looks
always
like
never looked well
no, but he
anyway.
looks like a corpse now.
Well, I mean, Frank Carlisle always said that he was like when he shook his hand, he said he was like a wet fish. So I don't know. I mean, he's always looked like a corpse. That sounds really bad.
I can't say anything about John W. Emery in the Epstein files.
That's fucking hilarious, though. That's so funny.
Paddington's back again. Guys, Slot, Hughes, Edwards got 18 months, and all these players with less than 2 years to go on contracts. The club is in a complete mess. Henry and Vernon need to get off their ass to the UK ASAP, sort it out.
Paddington, I hope you stick around, mate, because you're fucking dead on the money with all of your comments so far.
Bon, evening Bon. If the right player isn't there, I don't want Liverpool to sign a player for the sake of it. I agree.
We're not.
I do agree to a certain extent, but I do think that
Well, what's Jeremy Jacquet? What's like? Do you know what I mean? Like, no one. I don't think anyone on here is asking for us to sign a player for the sake of it, Bon. I don't know where you're getting that from. Necessary spending.
Sean on his future questions, sweet suffering Jesus. Russell, remember when Slot went to Dubai in the national break? Yeah.
They keep on talking about the Ibiza party as well when it was
Yeah.
mathematically impossible for anyone else to win the league.
Paddington, Shauna, why the injuries? Why players can't last 90 minutes? Why we looked off it after 75 minutes with 8 days to prepare for City? No journalist asking serious questions. Slot so much out of his depth. It is mad that we had 8 days to prepare for that match.
Paddington, Jesus Christ, man! I hope he stays. What a great comment.
Russell says, "Watch Geratuda score an overhead kick." Jay agreed with me. Russell, most teams play with a DM with 2-8s, which means Liverpool are outnumbered in a double pivot, especially when both are too attacking. Again, mate, I agree with that as well. Like, why? Why does Slot not? I think Slot does see this, but I think he's just fucking stubborn, me. I think he's stuck to his morals or whatever it is that he's got. Not morals, but his things. Ants with us. All right, lads, I was at the match and you'd be surprised how many got off after City equalised. Gravenberch saying he's not worried about Champions League. I am.
I am too.
Gary Richards, it can't be like this next season. Adam and Shauna, I don't think it will be. Plus, Robbo and Van Dijk knew each other's style of play, says Jay Garrett. The fact as well, I want to say as well, Jamie Carragher said something yesterday about he thinks that Slot will still be here next year because of that round table. That's what I saw that as well today. Cranky JD, too many players aren't turning up. I can't remember Gakpo or Salah going past the City fullbacks. They don't attack enough, just go around in circles. Maka's too slow and hasn't got the energy of Dom. I agree with that as well, to be fair, regarding Maka and Gakpo and Salah. I do think... Again, hindsight, I think it shows that we probably made a mistake giving Salah that contract this year. He can't do what he was doing. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because he's been asked to do different things. If that's the case, then fair enough. But his output this year has been shocking. I don't remember the last time he took a player on, in all fairness. Like, there's been a couple of occasions this season as well. You remember when, like, we've had a long ball and Salah's been through. 2-3 years ago, Salah would have just gone. He'd have gone, scored. This season, the defender catches him and tackles him, and it goes out, or it goes out for a corner or a goal kick or whatever.
I think that's a good
Again,
point there that the Cranky made. I mean, speaking of retro games, if you've played Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, Gapko is kind of like that character that you pick that can only do one move, and Gapko takes it on his preferred foot and shoots from outside the box, and that's all he can do. I think I don't think he should be on the team. I'd sooner have Rio,
I
and
have seen
Rio has a few things in his game that I'm not too happy about.
I have seen some stuff regarding Gakpo as well, that apparently he could be gone in the summer, depending on what happens management wise. Which again, to me, that's bad management right there, because we just give him a new contract in the summer. So I don't
Well,
know.
you know, these contracts are all well and good, and you know that they're not worth the paper that they're written on. Contracts are there, you know, to get the best resale value from them. Um, so I think that it's always a good move to have them in a contract and then sell them, rather than them, you know, do what Trent did or doing what Canate did.
Let's have a look. Gakpo's deal, yeah, Gakpo's deal runs until 2030. He signed his last deal on August the 30th of last year. Where with the comments, Russell here, pass the ball around till everybody is bored to tears, then rely on a tap in or banging a goal. Yeah, I mean, I'm buzzing the fact that we've got a player like Sabozlai that can just whack a free kick in, but the 4 free kicks he scored have all been in games where we've needed that. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, but we shouldn't be relying on someone to score a free kick. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And look at the amount of opportunities that we had, and we weren't clinical enough to finish them. Look at like you know, some of the passes that we made and some of the decisions we made on that pitch where we could have been on true and goal and we decided to go elsewhere. I don't know whether that's down to players just not having the vision and not being able to see other opportunities there on the pitch, or it's down to Slot and his management.
No, no, man. We've got over 50 people watching right now, guys. Only 22 likes. Let's see if we can get them likes up for us, guys. It helps the channel a lot. Paddington says he overplays players. He doesn't utilize the full squad, hence more injuries. He's a clown. Why bench Chiesa in Rio if you won't play them? Keeps playing his faves, no matter how bad they play. I mean, again, that's another one, like for me, where I've always been of the opinion, if a player's on the bench, he has to be ready to play. So if Rio Engamoa is on the bench and Gakpo gets injured within the first minute of the game, Rio needs to be ready to play 8 to 9 minutes.
I think
Otherwise,
we
what's
should
the
put
point?
something. I think we should put something in the 7 p.m. with AKM, and give someone acknowledgement like for the best comments. Um, and I think the best comments for me is Paddington so far, like on the money with every single one of his comments.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree with that. Some good comments today from Paddington. Jay Garrett says plus as well, not getting Heitinger back. I know I spelled his name wrong. Yeah, and he fucked off to Spurs, didn't he? So Paddington, but Shauno Slot always got an excuse. Anna always has an excuse for everyone he blames, everyone except himself. But again, where are the journos and the pundits calling him out? They got no balls. Again, I agree. Bond says he's surprised that Slot is still in a job. I agree with that. Russell says Slot and Hughes are in love. I kind of feel like Hughes' his job relies on Slot working, because if we believe the rumors that are going around, and I think this was over on Cop Talk where I heard this or saw this. Sorry, with Dunk, that again this is from something that he's not saying is from him. This is from someone who's told him that apparently Hughes wanted Slot, FSG wanted Alonso, but backed Hughes because it was his job type thing. Somewhat along them lines. I might have just absolutely butchered what he says, but it was something like that. I'm sure it was. Ant said it was filmed after the Barnsley game, which I don't remember when that was. I'll have a look in a minute. Jay Garrett says, lads, all we are is pound notes to the club. As long as the money comes in, they don't give a fuck. As a local fan who's unable to get a ticket, They are not asked. Mine or our opinion doesn't matter. I know that's what you meant there.
That's why, Jay, I don't do those surveys. I really don't, because it's a fucking waste of time. You're pissing up against the wind, and they don't take anything into consideration. The real issues in terms of the tickets is how the tickets system works. It's not about, well, your man over in Ireland is getting tickets quicker than the local lad. It's not a case of that. And for an Irishman, I would have to go for um or hospitality tickets, which, I mean, fucking Champions Travel are charging for a ferry over. They're charging about 1,300 for a fucking day trip, and people are being sponsored by them, and Shay Given fucking giving it all socks about them. They are that's criminal. That's fucking criminal.
You'd know more about that maybe than me, mate.
I know you would, or I know I would. Yeah, yeah.
That's a link that I've put in for my other YouTube channel. Russell says, remember at the bus parade when Gatpo was speaking to Linda, man was connecting. Paddington, Sean, I would have loved Vicky Gomashel, as I said, I don't know how to say that word, to have given the opportunity to ask hard questions instead of PR exercise, but Liverpool aren't going to do that. Otherwise, they get exposed as chances. Same with anything, to be fair, that comes out from any sort of media, from any club, in all fairness. They're not going to sit there and be like, right, come on then, and just be like, you're shit. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? Wait, they're not going to put that up on the channel. But no, I get it, man. I get it 100%. Gareth says, can't back Sloth anymore. Terrible football to watch. Bond said it's been 6 games. Guy Richards, this club is a baby shambles. I think that's what it means. Paddington says, Sean, thanks for the kind words. I've subscribed. You guys are like dunk, serious legends. I love your forum. Thank you, mate. That's what I've been trying to build here for a while, mate.
Yeah.
Jay said, would anyone watch the DJ set? I reckon he would remix the fuck out of Cha Cha Slide or the Okie Kokie. Ant says, aren't you lads looking forward to the Conference League football for next season? Middle of nowhere versus amateurs on an Astro pitch with with us training next to it.
Fuck me. I'd sooner watch. Oh my God! Honest to Christ, I'd sooner watch Anfield Agenda than fucking watch that conference thing. What is that point? Well, I know what the point is. Money. That's it.
Gatpo is Gunther. Ben, mate, we haven't seen you for a while. Hi guys,
Hey,
I've
Ben.
been around for a while. Had a lot going on in my personal life. So have I, mate. I've not been doing much content lately.
Likewise, buddy.
Sean as well with his back surgery. We'll try to be back regular now. Thank you, mate. You're always good when you pop on, pal.
Trying to get everything regular.
Yeah. Nick the Pointer. Salah doesn't have the supply from Trent. We all age, but it doesn't fall off a cliff from last season. Yeah, good point there again, mate. To be fair, I think we've all kind of missed or didn't think how much of an impact Trent was to our build-up play. So I agree, mate. Martin,
I don't think Trent. All right, Martin. I don't think Trent was all that prolific though last season.
No, not last season, but yeah.
But I mean, that's when we won the league. So and look at what Salah did. Do you know what I mean? So I get what you're saying, Nick, but I think I think if we had the right back position sorted and not have a change about 50,000 times this season, that it might be a different thing altogether. I don't know.
Jay says, does anyone agree that Slot maybe playing certain teams? Maybe play certain teams for a payout. I don't know. You mean like in getting sacked? I think you mean by there, mate. I don't know. Rewrite that, pal. Martin says, did we win the XG? No, we didn't, mate. No, we got battered by City and
XG champions, what?
Bond says Klopp had his favourite players at all, man. Yeah, that's another good. True, I think I agree with that. Klopp did have favourites. He did. Ant says, just get Conference League and give it to the youngsters under the new manager. Paddington, if Slot does stay, God forbid, if you were a player, would you want to play under Slot if he does stay lock in for a really poor season? It's sad that the hard work Slot did is being blown away. So sad. Also, another point as well is I will say is I feel like if we don't get Champions League, I think we're going to find it so much harder to get Szoboszlai, Grav, Maka, the likes to sign up to new deals. I think we'll find it really difficult. Ben says he got told the other week that Slot will be going to Spurs. I mentioned this. Slot will be going to Spurs at the end of the season, hence Heitinga going there without interviewing. All makes sense as Spurs wanted him before he went and got him. No, agreed. Leeds also wanted him as well. Yeah, I mentioned this. I could see Arne Slot at Spurs if he loses the job for Liverpool. Russell, the women's team was awful. They brought in January O'Sullivan is one for Shauno, but they have been winning. I'll have to check that one out, Shauno. Paddington, personally, I think Slot has had an agenda to rip up anything linked to Klopp. He ripped the heart out of the team. He was so stubborn rather than tweak the tactics. He just blew it up. I think that's the first one where I'm kind of going to disagree with you a little bit. I feel like that's not down to Slot. I feel like that would be down to like Edwards and stuff like that, who are trying to potentially do that. But I feel like he took a step away from what he was doing last season and tried to do something else, which ties back to my original point that I think him winning the league was probably one of the worst things that could have happened to him in his first season, because I think that gave him the impetus to be like, now I can do X, Y, Z.
I think he always wanted to put his stamp on it, and he didn't get the opportunity last summer.
Yeah. Eddie, hope you're doing well, pal. Does anybody really think that Slot's going to get sacked? Because I think he's here for the rest of the year and next season. Yeah. I think he sees out this season. I can't put it on for next year. I don't know what to suggest because that would be the last year of his contract. I don't know. Like, there was some stuff going around that it'd be cheaper to get rid of him in the summer rather than now. I don't know. I really don't know. I can't see us sacking him unless we get beat by Sunderland and then we get beat in the FA Cup. I don't know. I don't know, Sean. What do you think? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I for the first time in a while, I agree with Carragher. If he wins the Champions League, he stays. You know, big up Squidly 1000. Welcome to the channel.
Where are we up to with the comments again?
Just at 20:06, Squidly put in a comment there saying big up everyone, and then
big up, mate. Up well, pal.
Ben Louis.
Can't see us sacking him yet. However, the moment we get knocked out of the Champions League and have nothing to play for, it will happen in his opinion. Ant says, Sean, on that response on the Europa Conference League. At what point do the club take action? I don't know, mate. And then Bond says, missing out on the Champions League will be more costly for the club. I agree with that as well, mate. I really do. There's some more here that I think we've missed. Gary says, when Liverpool will stop the axe, maybe. Jay Garrett, he's rewritten the message. Do you think that Slot lines his team up to get sacked and get a payout because his wife has come out saying his current time at the club is horrendous? Really? I'll have to look at that. I'd have to see what Slot's wife has said. But Slot's wife.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, lads. I'm trying to get comfortable here. Oh, fuck.
Okay, so it says here that Slot has reveals his wife and family difficulties around his new life as the title managing. I'll have to read that. He lives alone, apparently. Slot's family live in Holland during his first year. I'll read this afterwards, maybe make a video on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm wary of your back, mate, so I want to get this.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about me. Like, me back is me back.
Answers, have you seen our last 6 games of the season? We could literally be bottom half. Yeah, they're not good. Paddington says, Adam and Sean, when do you think Slot goes and who is your preference to take over? And if no Champions League football, do you see any of the top players going in the summer? So we'll break that down into 3 questions. When do I think Slot goes? As
End of
if
the
it
season.
continues as is, end of the season. Who
End
is
of the
my
season.
preference to take over? I think as of right now, obviously the main one is Alonso, but I wouldn't turn my nose up either at Luis Enrique, but he's obviously said that he wants to stay at PSG. Nagelsmann, but obviously you've got the World Cup there as well in regards to that. So I don't know. And then could I see any top players leaving in the summer if we miss out on Champions League? I think you'll see a couple. I think you might see Maka go. Obviously, I think Salah's going anyway. If they miss out on Champions League, do they then sell Allison? Because it's kind of like, well, we need to probably manage the books a little bit with wages and shit. So does Ali go and then you give it to Mamadashvili? I don't know, guys.
I
Potentially.
have a take on that. So I'll answer the same questions that you did, unless you have more to
No,
say
go,
there.
go, go, go. You go.
So Alonso, I think, would be the person, because he's obviously got that experience with Verts, Frimpong, um, and I think he could get the best out of them. I think the style of football, I think, would be better for us. And obviously he has that connection with Liverpool. So he knows, the back, or the background. Let's just say. Um, what was the second question?
Any
Oh,
when do you think
d-
slot goes, and does any of our top players leave if we miss out on Champions League football?
well, the end of the season, I think, is well, in terms of players leaving at the end of the season. I think you're going to have to see. You might get a few surprises. I think you will have to see some players leave at the end of the season, to sort out the contracts. The Slabasly apparently looking for 300,000. How do you get that 300,000? Well, you're going to have to offload either Salah or Virgil, or both. I think if you give him a contract, you put him as captain, so you could see both Virgil and Salah leave. You're definitely going to get either or. Um, and the way we go about our business, we have to offload players in order to buy them. Um, so that's where I think, I don't think that if you don't get Champions League football, that players necessarily leave. I think if they don't believe in the project, then they leave. And I think that's how it is.
Yep, I agree with that, mate. We'll have to just wait and see what happens, in all fairness, with what's
Yeah.
happening. But yeah. Ben says can't see us sacking him yet. However, we've read that one. Done the Sean one. Done that one. Jay says, I know we said he doesn't make Christmas, and I know that we said for many weeks. I can't see him at the helm for the end of the season. I think he does, mate. I think he makes it to the end of the season. Paddington says, I really worry if Slot stays, we go through the same abyss in financial restraints as United. We can afford going back again. Can't afford going back again. Ben says you bring in Alonso or a brand new manager now, then you reset the whole lot with a chance of a Champions League still up for grabs. It's a gamble, but now it's a stage that we have to win it to get into Europe. Agreed.
Well, I think, I mean, even Slot said in after the game, he says that there's not enough, there's not a lot of games left, so we can't afford any slip ups. We can't fucking afford any slip ups. We haven't been able to afford any slip ups since fucking December, and yet we're slipping up.
Gary's saying what I've. Does anyone know if Chiesa has been anywhere near Slot's wife? Lee, it's a hell of a gamble sticking with Slot till, mate. Are FSG happy to have Europa League or worse? I don't think they're happy for
I
it,
don't
mate.
think
But
they give a shit.
I just don't think. I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is, because it just don't make sense with what's going on. Like, as I mentioned earlier, again, us as fans can see it, so surely they can. And I'm not trying to like say he. I mean, I think right now Liverpool have given Slot enough rope to hang himself to, for lack of a better term. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's had enough time to turn this around, and we've just, I don't know. I don't know. Paddington says, personally, guys, I think we can't afford end of the season only because the World Cup's quick and then no real option. Yeah, man, I agree with that as well. I agree. I do agree with that point as well.
Yeah.
It won't have enough time. Ben, Allison will go this summer. I told you guys last summer the reason he didn't go was due to Mamadashvili having 1 year as the understudy. Wouldn't shock me if a massive clear out happens. Jay Guy says Alonso is the main choice, but I think they'll have Ariola lined up. They've got the same agent, so potentially, mate. Paddington, totally agree, Sean. Alonso ticks all the boxes. I do see McAllister go along with Kanate, Salah, Gomez, and Jones. Issue is we need more homegrown players. Sadly, if Slop stays, what is the project? I think they just probably upgrade some of the youngsters, mate, to take them players' positions. I do. Virgil was pushing for a move last summer. He desperately wanted to go. His agent offered him to Bayern, Madrid, and Chelsea. The club only have him the club on a deal because they knew the backlash. All right, they only gave him a deal because they knew the backlash would be bad. Squidly says he's had so much rope, his feet are on the floor.
That's hilarious.
Paddington says, enjoy your podcast and subscribe. Love the passion, honesty. We need more fan forums like what you guys have. Thank you, Paddington.
Oh, that's much appreciated.
Thank you, mate. Slot's record is worse than Hodgson's. Right, we've caught all the comments, mate. Anything you want to sound off on before we call it a night?
I just think as a whole, as a fan base, like I said to you, I think it's so important not to be gaslighted by, the so-called main honchos and the likes of Jamie Carragher. When you look at their profession, is responsible for escalating managers and coaches getting the sack. So that's a load of BS from them. I think in terms of the journalism that cover Liverpool Football Club, I don't think they're as cutthroat as other clubs, and I think that's been a major problem. And the shielding of criticism. I think fans will always have an opinion. If you're in a pub, you're going to have an opinion. You're going to have a difference of opinion of who your favorite player is and what have you. I think it's so important that whatever happens, that we do it for the betterment of the club as a whole. Mm-hmm. And if that means, calling a day on Arne Slot, then that's what needs to happen. No more of these Reds round table shit. I like Arne. I do like Arne Slot. I do. But like I said, we can't. How far does this credit of winning the league go? And are we willing to lose out on Champions League football or that fucking Conference League football crap? It's like settling for the Hotties' ugly friend is the Conference League.
Mm-hmm.
It's and I'm getting a little bit fucking tired, if I'm honest with you, and I think it's disrespectful and not very honourable to go on about Diego Jota's death and use that. Grief happens to us all. If you remember when we won the league, Alisson lost his dad, and Klopp lost his mother.
Well, I don't know if again, this is not being confirmed by anybody as of yet, but people were sharing pictures of Salah's sister's Instagram post, and apparently Salah's
grandfather passed away. Yeah.
So obviously, if that turns out to be true, everyone's obviously thinking of Salah and everything like that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But again, from a football side of things, how long are we going to lose Salah for then? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, as you said, who's going to be our right back for the next 3 games? Maybe Chiesa might get a chance, but I have a take on Chiesa, and I could be way off the mark, and that's why I won't say anything. But I'll tell you later on my take on Chiesa. And I think maybe maybe that there is a good enough reason as to why he's not playing. But anytime I see him come on, he's the most hungriest. Um, I think sentiment we can talk about, like, oh, he's done this, he's done that, he's done great in his first season. Sentiment gets you left behind, and while it's unfortunate, I think pulling the plug before it's too late. I don't know. The top four, and top four should be well gone for us with the run that we've had. We're just very lucky that this season has been piss poor. Piss
Hmm.
poor. There's no way that we should be within an ass's roar of top four with the sort of run that we've had. One of the worst seasons I've ever seen. One of the worst seasons I've ever seen. So that's my take on it. It's just sad. It's depressing to watch. I'm not, and people go on about, like, the atmosphere in Anfield. The atmosphere of Anfield is orchestrated by the performance that's put on the pitch, and the fans can only do so much. And if we're getting the same tiresome shite, I don't want any head coach of Liverpool or any player of Liverpool to be booed. But if the atmosphere is dull, that's a reflection of what is on the pitch.
Hmm.
That's my take on it.
I'll just finish off by reading these last few comments out, guys. Thanks for everyone that's watched today. Make sure you've hit the like button if you haven't done so already. So yeah, where are we up to? Lee says my choice would be Alonso, but I don't see him as a yes man, someone who wouldn't step on. Everything. I think that's part of the reason why Alonso might not come in, is because he won't be a yes man. Jay Garrett says, I own my own business and I can see what works and what doesn't. If this club can't see glaring holes in how it's run, there's massive issues that need addressing by the higher ups.
Yeah.
Paddington, do you think Carragher doing a lot of flip flopping at the moment, except players apart from Gerrard missing in duty, calling things out? I get what you're saying there. Yeah, Carragher does seem to flip flop a lot, whereas Gerrard just kind of says it as it is.
And you have him and the likes of, Steve Nicol. Steve Nicol is cutthroat, and that's why you don't see him at legend events. You don't see him. You don't see him on LFC TV. We had Frank Carlisle there on the after hours session, and he was involved in LFC TV. And when he said something that was against the grain, he got the sack. So that fucking says it all. I know Frank and I have our differences, whatever. I actually respect the guy, and I think he tells it how it is, um, as well as Dunk. But I think, in terms of the journalism and the punditry, it's dictated to.
Yeah. Ben says, as a match going fan in Europe, Europa League would be brilliant as a selfish point of view. However, we can't afford to miss out on Champions League, not after spending 500 million last summer. Yeah, it's going to bite us in the ass. Honestly, guys, watch. But I said this to you, Sean. I said this to you when the fucking wheels came off this season. I said, you watch. FSG will not spend a fucking penny again for a few years now. You watch. Honestly, watch.
Yeah.
Paddington. Gerrard was honest after a recent TNT broadcast to call things out without going as far as saying slot out. As Stevie came out to say standards count, as do we all that care. Jay, I hope Slot walks, holds his head up high rather than ruining his career. He did win us the league, but our club is beyond him. Lee says at the end of the day, Bon, I don't think Chiesa having played well when he starts. Chiesa is better off coming off the bench. And then Lee finishes off. At the end of the day, standards have been allowed to drop alarming levels by the coach and those upstairs. Agreed. Jay, in regards to Carragher, you've got to remember that he used to be a blue and he fights his bitterness. And then finishing off with Paddington, I feel sorry for Feddy. He always has a smile, never complains, and when he gets a chance, always gives 100%. I thought Slot was disrespectful, not even acknowledging his recent goal. Yeah, he hung his head like, oh, for fuck's sake. But anyway, we'll call it there, guys. Thanks for everybody watching. Appreciate Sean coming on with you back and everything like that. I probably will do a watch along for the Sunderland game, guys. It is a late one though. It's 8:15. I've just seen. So, but yeah, I'll do a watch along for that one. So please come along for that. I'll ask Sean to make us the thumbnail for that because he makes some fucking shit up watch along.
I fucking do. I won't lie to you. Yeah.
So I'll get Sean to make that and I'll pop that up as ASAP. So make sure you come along for that. Probably start.
You want to you want to see the one that I did with Leeds? I always involve Emma Louise Jones. Sweet God.
He does. So I'll probably get that up ASAP as soon as I've got the thumbnail from Sean. And then as well, guys, make sure I hit the like button. We've got the membership for $1.99 or $2.99, where you're in a chance of winning a prize from Sean Leonard Arts, where it's like a custom made Liverpool fan art piece. We've had a few people have got them. Everyone's kind of said that they're really good and there's not been any problems or anything like that. I know like Muscusi had the Jota one that arrived on Jota's birthday. So that was pretty good, to be fair.
He was really taken aback by that now. So he was
and we do have to send out Gavin's as well. I do have the details, but Gavin said not to worry about it with what we've had going on. So I'll send you them details, Sean, after this, to be fair. We'll get that ball rolling on that one. And then, yeah, I've got another YouTube channel called Play, Pause, Talk. So if anyone wants to go listen to some stuff about me waffling on about gaming, go subscribe over there as well, guys. So, yeah.
Are we going to do the quiz next Monday? Or is that to be confirmed?
If you're well enough to do it, we can do.
I should be okay. Just, cool. Yeah.
Right. The quiz is back next week as well, guys. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks to everyone that watched. Thanks to everyone that contributed. Thanks to everyone that's hit the like button and subscribe. I have some new subscribers today. So thanks to everybody for that as well. So anyway, that's it from me. That's it from Sean. And we will catch you all in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.